We got some breaking news here. This is unfucking believable. 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast in the United States of America. I'm T-Speaker 222 XRP Future Millionaire with the side bet on XLM and Future Digibyte OG. So certainly not what we were expecting to wake up to this morning. We could see a whole overwhelming crash. We've talked about this bearish continuation. We talked about the fake out yesterday, a possible 5 to 6% up and then an immediate drop, which is exactly what happened. But this is just a gigantic kick in the old nutsack here. This is where you're going to get teabagged and the balls are going to be dangled across your face by not only XRP, but all of crypto. We must pay attention to this breaking news. This just came down about 3 a.m. my time. So New York just passed the bill cracking down on Bitcoin mining. Here's everything that's in it. And this is not bullshit. I'm going to let you watch the 5 or 6 minute video after this. I want to read this little piece right here. Lawmakers in New York just passed a bill to ban certain Bitcoin mining operations that run on carbon-based power sources. This is the immediate forefront, guys. They're going to get rid of all these cryptos, and this is just another push in that direction. So be careful. Never a bad time to be fully liquidated unless you're doing spot leverage trades to try to make some easy money. This is the point where it's not safe to have your money in crypto, and I've been saying it for months, and this is just another reason why. And XRP sub 39 cents this morning. It might have just passed 39 cents again, but it dropped down pretty hard, over 5%, pretty quickly. The measure now heads to the desk of Governor Kathy Hochul, who could sign it into law or veto it. If it passes, it would make New York the first state in the country to ban blockchain technology infrastructure. Like, what a huge slap in the dick for anybody who's into crypto, for anybody who believes in specific blockchains. And this is another hand-in-hand style way that they're using the lawsuit with XRP and Ripple. They're trying to ban blockchain technology infrastructures on the carbon-based side. It's a big nightmare. Following an early morning vote in Albany, on Friday, lawmakers in New York passed the bill to ban certain Bitcoin mining operations that run on carbon-based power sources. The measure now heads to the desk of the governor. If Hochul signs the bill, it would make New York the first state in the country to ban blockchain technology infrastructure, according to Parini Boring, founder and president of the Chamber of Digital Commerce. So we're going to come back to this. I'm going to show you the video at the end. I want to get a quick technical analysis, show you how they completely bent us all over once again. Like I always say, you might as well just pull the pants down for the manipulators, because they've got a lot of stuff in store. They will thrust your portfolio out of existence if you're not paying attention. This is just another small example. Why the fuck isn't YouTube blowing up about this? Good morning, 9:34 a.m. on this unbelievably crazy start to the day here on this Friday. Yeah, Friday, the end of the week. And getting news that New York is the first place that's going to ban crypto mining in the United States of America. It's unbelievable. It's already gone through. They already voted on it. Now it's just waiting the signature from the governor. But it's absolutely spectacular, this news. It fits into our narrative of 99 or 95% of crypto being eliminated, and us having such a big drop that it's going to slap everybody in the face. Total crypto market cap is down 2.81% to just hanging on 1.2. It's proved this right shoulder like we talked about, and now it's absolutely coming down in a spectacular way. And with the mining, the Bitcoin mining ban, this is going to escalate this, guys. So pay very close attention in the daily. We have an engulfing to the downside. We failed the 20-day. Everything that could have went up, it's failed. Now we should come down and retest this low support here of 1.8 trillion, 1.08. My technical target out of here on a breakdown is still 658 billion. That hasn't changed. We just have moments of volatility when you go up and down. So everybody who keeps asking me, Craig and a few of you other guys, just because we move up and down in volatility like this doesn't mean 11 and 12 cents is off the table. It's quite the opposite. You have to do this to prove your case that you're going to continue moving down. Look at Bitcoin. Once again this morning, right at 29,500 it came down to. That's our technical target before a further breakdown. You can see we're getting rejected by the 20-day. Got bearish engulfing candles in the daily. This looks atrocious. Yesterday was our small chance hit that 4 or 5% pump, but look what happened right after it dumps out of this area. We didn't even break up. That was the top on 31,750. We had a very strong potential of 30,748 ultimately rejecting us. That's exactly what happened. Couldn't find any strength, got rejected as a right shoulder. Now we've come down and we're trying to use this as support or resistance at 29,610. This is exactly what we talked about yesterday. I mean, and now if it breaks down, it's very easy. The next number would be 29,100, and then you get the overwhelming drop to the bottom of this layer. If it breaks down 25,570, but that's an awfully big sideways consolidation on a bearish pennant. And if this breaks down, because it's already shown the head and shoulders topping reversal, if this breaks down, then you see 28.2, 27.8, then it comes down here to 25.3, and then ultimately it'll come down to this bottom of this pattern at 23,912. But that's not the end of it, ladies and gentlemen. No. We're looking for a target around 17,177 in this area. If it drags out over here to August, we're looking for about 20,000. But this is not looking good. With what they're talking about with Bitcoin, this could exacerbate itself. And once again, if you guys are watching certain people on YouTube, ignore the advice to buy Bit. Do not buy the Bit. That's down 20% today, and 800 million or 800,000 or whatever the hell this wallet has. It was worth $23 million they had. They had bought it at like 90 cents and they started dumping it. And they're dumping it through 50. It's crazy how much they've dumped. And they're dumping it every 10 minutes. So if you're a fan of Bit, do not buy that shit. From Bybit. So yeah, that's the story of what's going on this morning. A lot of people dumping, a lot of nervous Nellies now because of what New York City did, and I don't blame anybody. This is the big kick in the dick. So, I had a projected target for XRP last night. The small target was 41,429. If it decided to break up from a top level, we could have got up to about 42.8. But like we said, likely 41,429 would cap any upside, didn't even make it. It got up to 41,071, so just missed the technical push up. Broke down on this right shoulder like we called. And now, guys, be very, very careful because this is where we could potentially start looking at a short opportunity. We're at 39,154. We're back testing a very, 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 and I mean very important level right now. We have an uptrend from 11 cent area in March of 2020. Then we hit around it again in 2021. We hit it again in 2022. We showed a fake out back up to the 20-day, which is common. Now we're back testing the uptrend that we had from here. If we back test this as resistance, like we're trying, and with this New York City ban, this is going to get ugly, I feel. We might have an opportunity at a short here, ladies and gentlemen. If this holds, this resistance, and this is the best time if you're looking at something and you're like, what do I do? So if you're looking for a short, at 39,273 rejection, that's a perfect spot. You would put your stop loss up here at about 39.8. Actually, I'd put it closer to 40 cents because you kind of have these moments of volatility. I would try to come as close as you can to the 20-day right now. You could get an overzealous pushback up, get rejected by the 20, and then continue down, or this blue line becomes your resistance. The fact we came under this uptrend actually presents an opportunity to start a short trade, because if we get rejected by it, then you bring your short. And I'm not looking at the 1.49, but yeah, 1.49% could be your first area. But then if it breaks that, you're looking at a nice short down about 12.5%. Wouldn't need much leverage on a trade like that. So be careful this morning, but also pay attention to the opportunities in front of us. XLM did exactly what we talked about yesterday. It came up, and I should have bought it and wrote it out of this area. But hey, my son was up till like 2 o'clock again, so after I got done with my live and my little update, I didn't look at the charts, unfortunately. But it's doing exactly what we said. Now it's hitting resistance. And you can see the bearish divergence is trying to start here. If this gets rejected in this area, you could actually buy XLM here and put a stop loss at like 14.69. And it's only at 14.41. These are actually pretty good spots right here, if we're paying attention. We very well could roll over here, ladies and gentlemen. we very well could have a short opportunity. Join Tom's Army, $9.99 a month. Get the exclusive Telegram so you can talk to me. It's that simple. 111. Look at this. Remember yesterday on the Twitch live, for anybody who watched, we did not get caught up in this, and we said this likely was not the true support when it was up here, and we said it was likely going to break down, and it was proving an ascending triangle. Look how it broke down, back tested this broken descending triangle that we created yesterday out of thin air because we knew it was happening, and now it got rejected. Now it's hitting the 20-day on the bottom side. If this proves resistance, this is where we get our double bottom. This is where we're going to come down, and it's going to be ugly. Because you're talking about the next drop. This is here. I don't know how that got so extended, but the next drop would first get you down to about 0.856. That is insanity if this happens. And then it has to come down to the support line, which would be 762. Like, it looks like we're on a bearish continuation, like I've been saying for weeks. It looks like we're getting ready to break down. And it also looks like with the news, we might have a short opportunity here. So you guys need to pay attention to what's going on. Make sure to hit that motherfucking like button. Do not give me under 100 likes, especially when I put on a live stream and I take the time to put it to YouTube and you guys give me 50 likes on 1,100 views. Don't appreciate that. XRP Future Millionaire. Hit that motherfucking like button.
So lawmakers in New York are in the process of pushing through legislation that would ban some proof of work mining.
Pay attention to this, guys, because they've already put this in. Now it's just waiting for the governor's signature. This is not a joke.
Can you walk us through where we are in this process and just how close this bill is to passing?
The bill, actually, this is the second turn of it. So it died last year when electrical union came out and wrote a letter and said, hey, we actually have gotten a lot of jobs from Bitcoin mining generally. And now it's back. So it was passed by one group, and now it still has to pass through the Senate. And so that's where we're at this week with it. It's unfortunate that it's come back because I think we still haven't had a chance for the lawmakers to really understand the benefits of Bitcoin mining for the state. And so that's kind of where we're at now.
Now, for those who are just jumping into this debate, can you give us a quick rundown of what's at stake here? And if it passes, what would change for Bitcoin miners in New York?
The moratorium says that any miner that is not using 100% renewable energy is not able to expand or renew permits. And any miner that is not using 100% renewable energy is not able to join as like a participant in New York. What this means for Bitcoin is a few things. One, Bitcoin will be fine. Just like when China shut down, Bitcoin is resilient. The network will continue to operate. What it means for New York is something different. So New York shutting down Bitcoin mining and really like marginalizing one industry, it makes it seem like New York.
I 100% disagree with her. Yeah, Bitcoin will still be here, but does anybody else remember what happened when China did this? You're talking, you've lost 50, 60% of your portfolio on not only Bitcoin, but a lot of altcoins. So don't let this lady tell you otherwise. This is a major kick in the nuts. She doesn't understand fully. I can already tell by her lingo she's using. This is being read off a script. This is a serious issue, guys and gals. A very serious issue. If you don't put your faith in her, put it in XRP Future Millionaire. I've been a few steps ahead of the main media, the manipulated media, and she's going to give you some advice, but this is a lot worse than she's making it out to be already. This is devastating. What happens when this goes state to state across the country? And don't kid yourself. California would be next, probably followed by Florida or Texas, likely coming up through Arkansas and Alabama, and then Michigan would likely get on board with all of this because we like to follow what New York, California, Texas, and then Florida would end up doing. We all have these in Arizona. We have a big game in the U.S. we call, and it starts in New York, and it continues in California. Then they might tap Oregon or somewhere over there. Then they tap like New Mexico. They always do this shit, and then it works its way into the East Coast. Then it goes down to Florida and up to Maine. So Sean, you understand what's going to happen here. We all do.
Business for all things related to Bitcoin mining. And, you know, unfortunately, Bitcoin miners will find a different location. It won't be in New York. So it will drive jobs somewhere else. It will drive economic growth somewhere else. And New York will just, you know, be where they're at now without thinking about like the future of where the industry and where Bitcoin can go.
Yeah, and if talent in New York does leave, where do you expect them to go?
You know, Texas seems to be pretty open for Bitcoin miners. So that could be one location that we see miners flock to.
So continuing on that last point, what is the impact on New York's economy and jobs?
the impact on New York's economy and jobs. So if we think about the hash rate that's in New York, there's estimate about 3% of the hash rate. There's some large companies that means that they won't be growing any further in New York. There's also, a lot of companies that do things outside of just, mining that could consider moving jobs elsewhere. So things like Galaxy, right? Like we have a mining group. There's Foundry that's based entirely in New York. And, we are both growing, right? Our growing our teams significantly. And if New York is closed for business, like it does question why are Bitcoin miners going to work there?
So how real are the energy concerns around Bitcoin mining?
Every industry uses energy, and energy usage is not a bad thing. It's where people think that something is useful or not. And that's where I think the debate starts to happen, right? Like, do we think that Bitcoin is useful? And I think that's, something that is really like subjective. Bitcoin is something that is a universal currency used all over the world. It's used in multiple different scenarios, from, first world countries of investors investing in things like funds to people that use it as a lifeboat, right? To be able to leave different locations.
So guys, the bottom line here is, if you're still watching, New York just passed a bill cracking down on Bitcoin mining, and everything you needed to know I've read through. It's unbelievable. All they're waiting for is the governor to sign to put this into law. So the push for an 11th hour vote came as leadership in the state capitol managed to flip some of the senators who previously undecided. Lawmakers, that means they paid them off. Lawmakers back in the legislation say they are looking to curb the state's carbon footprint by cracking down on mines that use electricity from power plants that burn fossil fuels. If it passes for 2 years, unless a proof-of-work mining company uses 100% renewable energy, it would not be allowed to expand or renew permits, and new entrants would not be allowed to come online. The net effect of this, according to Boring, would be to weaken New York's economy by forcing businesses to take jobs elsewhere. This is a significant setback for the state and will stifle its future as a leader in technology and global financial services. More importantly, this decision will eliminate critical union jobs and further disenfranchise financial access to the many underbanked population living in the Empire State. Boring tells CNBC. This is a major kick in the nuts. So pay attention, and obviously pay attention to the market with this breaking news.